Could Jaguar Wright really be right?
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very interesting video. A video that I've been sitting on for a while, but I finally decided to do it. And it's about Jaguar Wright. I don't know who Jaguar Wright is. I mean, all you gotta do is search her name in the YouTube search bar. Because basically, she's a veteran R&B singer since like the 90s, especially in the early 2000s. She did a lot of background singing, a lot of her own solo stuff. If you ran into Jaguar Wright within the last 20 years and you're in the music industry, your teeth should be, like, you should be nervous because she just exposing everybody left and right. You know how people say exposing skeletons in the closet? No, she's dragging the skeletons out. She's digging dog bones up out the yard. She's throwing the bones at us like bird seeds. And you know, everybody on the internet is like the pigeons flocking. And I don't know what it is, but every time I see a video of hers, it's like the way she talks is so intriguing, and like you want to hear what she gonna say, who she gonna talk about. But before I begin, I want to give a shout out to the channel For Vita. This channel specializes in doing slowed down and reverbed R&B and hip hop, 90s R&B and hip hop, throwback R&B hip hop, and they already uploaded some Aaliyah tracks. So check that out. A really dope channel. I'm gonna leave it right here for y'all. You know, Jaguar Wright, for the last month or so, she's been exposing celebrities. She started off with The Roots, Tropical Quest, and everything, and then people don't realize she's not a big name, but she's been in circles, she's been in industry parties, she's been around for a long time. She has inside information, so she knows a lot of things, and she just been holding it in, you know. But you know, she's reached her breaking point. She's just exposing everybody. Like I said, over the last month or so, I've been watching her videos. She's talking about this, that one. You know, she's talking about Mary J. Blige. She's talking about this one, P. Diddy, Clive Davis. She's talking about everybody, basically. And to most of us that's old enough, you know, I'm 25, so I have a gist of everything, right? But to even people who's older than me, most of us around my age and even older, especially people that's older, they know, you don't know, but you know it's a dark side of the industry. But it's a side that nobody talks about. We know the glamorous side, the riches, the wealthy side, everything is, you know, lights, camera, action. But there's a dark side that nobody talks about. But Jaguar Wright, if she gonna do anything, she gonna talk about it, you know? So I've been watching her videos for a while, but then every once in a while, she brings up Aaliyah. And y'all know Aaliyah is the main topic of my channel. So every time she would talk about her, I would take note of it. And she talked about her a few times. Here's the first time.
Something earlier to the effect of
It's fucking awful what they did to that woman. It's fucking awful. She was amazing. Aaliyah was amazing.
Yeah, she really
If she
was.
had been alive now, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have jobs. Funny how that worked out for some people, you know.
So after seeing that, like many other people, it makes you go, You know what I'm saying? It makes you really think about, who is she talking about? And there's a thing, because if you realize, Jaguar, right? She's very bold, brass, cutthroat. She's very, you know, out there, basically. If you see one of her videos, you know what I'm talking about. And she gives me that impression that she don't care if you're dead or alive. If you did some fuck shit, if you did some crazy stuff in the industry, she gonna expose it, she gonna talk about it. She might be a little lenient if the person has died, she gonna talk about it. But I noticed every time she talked about Aaliyah, her tone would change, her mannerism would change, her aura, her energy would change, and she would go a little soft, and she would be like, Aaliyah. No, it's that certain thing. And I don't even know, she never said if they met or not. It's probably just inside information, you know? But every time Aaliyah came up, her whole aura would change, and you could tell she would be careful with the words she would use, and she would be careful with what she would say. And she would always say, I don't want to tell her story. That's for Dame Dash to tell. That's for Dame Dash to tell. Notice, like she always says, that's for Dame Dash. I'm just like, And I always wonder, I'm like, what does she mean by that? Like, alluding to her accident about, oh, I'm gonna let Dame Dash tell her. And then she even one time said, oh, you should talk to Fatima. You know, Fatima Robinson was her choreographer for a majority of her videos, especially Rock the Boat. And, you know, she was down there. She didn't want to get in the plane because, oh, it was too many people. She wanted to stay another day. And she has some, I feel like everybody that was at the island, they know some stuff that they just not really saying. They're not really sharing. And I feel like, here's the thing, right? Recently, Jaguar Wright was in her car doing another live talking about it, and then somebody asked her about Aaliyah, and then you see her tone softens and she changes, and she's like, but here's what she had to say.
Aaliyah, as much as I desperately want to talk about Aaliyah, I cannot. I wish I could. We just don't know why it ended the way it ended. And I know a lot of people, they got a whole lot of mixed emotions about Dame Dash. People say whatever they want to say about that man. That man loved that woman. I just want the world to know how much she was loved before she was taken away from everyone. I just want people to know that part. I'm sick and tired of the fact that her name will forever be attached to R. Kelly's name. Everything he did to her. Everything he did to that family. You know, I know a lot of people want to blame it all on Barry Hankerson and blame it on the family, but the truth is, the music industry is a very confusing place, and sometimes things happen without people knowing. There are people that are actively working to keep people in the dark, actively working to constantly change stories, change reality, change everything, and they can do it all with just a press release. Like I said, it's not my story to tell, but it should be told by her brother or by Dame. Y'all need to know how amazing she really was. Y'all need to know what she really overcame. Y'all need to know the strength that came behind all of that sweetness and all of that grace. And she was tough. Survived the stuff that she survived. She was tough. And nobody knows the real story. Yeah. Aaliyah's untimely demise changed a lot in my mind. I was angry at first. Why is she so stupid? Why would she get on that plane with all that luggage? Why she got to be so vain? The luggage could have came later. As much money as she had. But see, what nobody really got told about that story, and it's only been mentioned in a few documentaries, is that the reason why she was in such a rush to leave the island was because someone had called her and told her that Damon Dash had been in a nearly fatal accident, and he was on his deathbed, and she had to rush to Miami to be by his side. That's how much she loved him, and she was willing to put her life on the line for it. See? Shoot. Packing all that luggage on the plane wasn't her idea either. She was told because the rap, the video had rapped, that all of their belongings had to leave right then, that she couldn't leave them behind, that nothing, they had to take everything with them, knowing that there was already almost 1,000 pounds worth of human on that plane, and then like 800 pounds of luggage. They said, well, if you got to go right now, you got to take all your stuff with you right now. And she was willing to risk it just to be with Dame. And I believe Dame, in an interview that he had done maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he said he never sent that phone call to summons her to Miami. He never had his assistant call her for any reason, and he wasn't even in Miami. I don't know, but where I come from, that sounds like a setup. Like the pilot was a crackhead, a former crackhead, and even he, the crackhead, didn't want to go along with it, but he was told that he had to because he was under contract. Somebody went through a lot of trouble to make sure that that girl got on that plane, and that plane, like I said, it's not my story to tell. But I'll be damned, there's a lot of people that benefited from Aaliyah being gone. A lot of people made it that wouldn't have made it if Aaliyah was still around. And I'm not so big on the idea of conspiracy theories, but typically the way I see things is if you want to know who the masterminds are behind something, all you have to see is the person who benefits the greatest. That's the person that has the most motive to make sure people get moved around, the person that has the most to gain. In this business, that could be anybody. We got to get it right. We got to get it right for the Aaliyahs of the world, for the Tammy Terrells of the world, for the Phyllis Hyman's of the world, for the Tina Marie's of the world. We got to get it right.
If you've been on my channel before, you know I've talked about Aaliyah's Accident many times and how as I got older and you start looking more into it, you start thinking about it, it never makes sense. It never adds up. I'm going to leave the videos right here. I've talked about it many times. And I feel like her death and the accident got brushed under the rug. And it was just like and even she said herself, she was like, oh, she said how she was like, oh, she was so stupid. Why did she do that? Why did she want to rush to get on the plane? Materialistic. That's the story. That's the perspective. That's the agenda they wanted to push out. Like, oh, it was Aaliyah's fault. It was her team's fault. We told them no, but they wanted to go. But even with that, it's just like, if you know the plane could crash, why in the fuck would you let them get on? That's the number one thing. So even if let's go with the story that Aaliyah and her team was so ready to go. If you know the plane is overweight, why would you let them get on? Why would you let the pilot push the pedal? Like, why? Nobody has ever answered that question. It's just been it was Aaliyah's fault, and some people still run with that narrative today. But anyway, like I was saying, a big thing that Jaguar Wright mentioned in that video was that phone call. Aaliyah got a phone call that Dame Dash was sick in Miami, and that's why she was willing to risk her life and go. This is where I feel like there is a story, there is a behind the scenes type of thing, there is some missing information as to why Aaliyah got on the plane that she could potentially have known was dangerous. But I feel like you have to look at it like this. Jaguar Wright, she got so much information. You know, I feel like with the P. Diddy, Mary J. Blige stories, I believe her on that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because she was right there. She knew, she was in it. Have Jaguar Wright and Aaliyah ever crossed paths like that for her to be like, you know, with her label, anything? Or is it just he say, she say? Is it just hearsay, stuff she heard? Because I'm like, how did she find this out? You know what I'm saying? Nobody was there. She, especially her, she wasn't there. So I'm just like, you gotta take what she says with a grain of salt when it comes to certain people, because it's like, was you around Aaliyah like that? Like, where did you get this information from? That, oh, she got a call that Dame Dash was sick and this and that, and that's why she was willing to risk her life to go save him and go to his bedside. And I'm like, that's where it gets a little grainy to me. It's a gray area. Like, I believe there's some missing puzzle pieces, wink wink, that is missing from the whole story. But I'm like, I don't think that's the case. I do believe, however, that Aaliyah did get a call from somewhere, someone, or one call was made, whether it was to Aaliyah, to somebody on her team. Something happened to where they felt safe enough to get on the plane. And what happened after that happened. Something definitely happened. And I cannot wait until somebody, or that one person who knows, is courageous enough to really come out and tell the story. It's been 19 years. Like, you know, I feel like I don't feel like justice is served because it's been brushed under the rug as a tragic accident. But it's just, it never makes sense. It will never make sense. You know what I'm saying? Really think about it. People still think, y'all really think Aaliyah was on the plane, like, y'all really think Aaliyah was just like, and here's the thing, right? Aaliyah was already had a thing with planes. Y'all really think Aaliyah got on the plane knowing it could crash and was just like, all right, whatever, let's go. Oh, get that bag, get that luggage. Oh, you got your, all right, let's go. Okay, close the door, let's go. I'm ready to go to Miami. No, I can't see it. And she has been the only celebrity, Missy, Timberland, like none of them, Missy, Timberland, Genuine, none of her close friends, her brother, her mother, none of them has really talked about it, Rashad, her brother, had one-on-one on Six and Park to talk about it. Dame Dash do interviews here and there, but none of them really dig deep into talking about it, like what really happened. You know what I'm saying? What phone call was really made to where Aaliyah felt comfortable enough to get on that plane? That's the missing key information. Aaliyah and her team felt comfortable enough to get on a smaller plane than what was originally scheduled for them, with all the luggage or whatever else was on it. And it was just like, all right, let's go. No, something is missing. I do believe that. But another key thing is she brought up how, oh, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have jobs if Aaliyah was still here. And she said, just look at who benefited the most. And she left it at that. And you know, of course, the first name that comes up is Beyonce. And you know, I looked through the videos, I looked through the comments, and of course, it's that little Beyonce, Aaliyah war, Stan war, comment war thing. And here, I'm gonna nip that in the butt real quick. I done did multiple videos. I'm gonna leave one of them right here. Basically, I'm gonna say this. People feel like, oh, but she was already doing better in Destiny's Child. She was already outselling her. When she came out, her album did good. Dangerous in Love did good. But it's just like, look at it like this. And this is where I'm going to talk about the void Aaliyah left. When she passed, the void Aaliyah left in the industry. I was going to say R&B music, but no. Aaliyah's death left a void in the whole industry, the entertainment industry. I'm talking about music, fashion, movies, business deals, endorsement deals, just the overall brand image. Aaliyah's death left a huge void. And I'm going to talk about it like this. Of course, Beyonce is successful, this and that, but Aaliyah had a special type of energy. She had that down-to-earth, humble nature to her. She had a natural swag. She was gorgeous as fuck. You know what I'm saying? She never had to try too hard. All her music sounded good. You know what I'm saying? People talk about her singing voice. Y'all already know how I felt about that. Her music, her voice, everything worked for her. The producers she worked with her. The producers she worked with knew how to fit her voice for the music. And it was just a perfect combination. She was with a perfect team, perfect everything. She had the perfect team around her. This is the thing. This is why people go so hard for it. This is why people feel the void is Aaliyah had that perfect brand image thing around her. You know how you could be big in movies, right? But you could also be big in music. Aaliyah was already big in music, getting bigger, and she was getting bigger in movies. Imagine both. It was going to be a collision. Basically like top movies, top albums. Or you know she was the queen of soundtrack singles. So, you know, it just goes hand in hand. Did her brand, her image, everything Aaliyah had opened the door for so many people, so many artists. And people don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Ashanti. You remember when Ashanti came out, Irv Gotti was trying to, you know, announce her as, oh, the new princess of R&B, hip hop, whatever he was calling her. Ashanti, Sierra, Cassie, all these different artists that they came on after her. Some artists that, well, like one-hit wonders, you know what I'm saying? Her, Ella Mai, Jhené Aiko, Kalani, even Summer Walker, all of them at one point in time has referenced Aaliyah as that SZA. All of them at one point in time has referenced Aaliyah. Halle and Chloe. I'm just, you know, as I'm going, the names keep coming. All of them at one point in time has referenced Aaliyah as a blueprint, as inspiration. You know, that soft melodic sound with the, you know, the ethereal thing, the R&B, the soft singing over the beats, the certain beats, that alternative R&B, that type of swag with the fashion, everything. Aaliyah did that first. One of the main artists to really take that and do it big. You could tell how big it was becoming. And the main thing about it wasn't forced. This was her natural aura. You know what I'm saying? And when put in the way that Jaguar Wright said it, like, oh, a lot of people wouldn't have jobs, people see that as in a negative light. And I get why, but it's making it seem like Aaliyah would be a bag stopper. Aaliyah would prevent this one from being on top. Aaliyah would prevent that one from being on top. And that could be the connotation she was saying it, but for me, I take it as like Aaliyah would be the one, you know, certain jobs, certain songs, certain producers, certain movies that certain people had, that would have went to Aaliyah. You know, because people don't realize, a lot of people, and I was young at the time, but as you research, you look into it, Aaliyah was getting bigger and bigger. At that time, Britney Spears was able to come out the gate swinging superstardom, megastardom. Aaliyah had to slowly, but effectively work her way up to like that megastar status. And she was almost to reaching that, but she still had some way to go. She had the hit songs, the hit movies, but it was still like, you could tell, give her 1, 2, 3 more years, she would have been like at the top. At her peak already, but we never got to see her at her biggest peak, if you know what I mean. Like, she was at the top of her game, right? But we never got to see her at the top of her game. She has so much more to do, basically. And anybody who studied Aaliyah's career, or you could just look at the videos, research the articles, look at all the things she was doing, she was about to do, things she was about to sign, movie deals, all type of things she was about to do. You could tell Aaliyah was going to be that mold. She was going to be that first, not the first, but one of the first of her generation and the next generation to be the mogul. Not just, Aaliyah the singer. She was going to be the mogul. Singer, actress, model, movie star, businesswoman. She was going to be that. You know how Rihanna keeps coming to my mind, but you know how Rihanna is today. Aaliyah was going to do that. She was already doing that, but she never got to finish. So when Jaguar Wright said, she was going to be having a lot of people out of jobs, that's the sense that she's saying it in. And some people might take it negatively. Some people might take it negatively, but it is what it is, And people say, Beyonce can sing better, blah, blah, blah. She can perform better.
Oh my God.
Aaliyah never had to try hard. She never had to oversing. She never had to overdance to captivate an audience, as she showed in her career. And she was only getting bigger and better. So just think about that. People get so defensive and they want to be, she was mediocre at best. She wasn't that good. I give her too much.
Oh my God.
Some of y'all don't give her enough because her career was really soaring. People talk about the album and none of that, but we already know the situation with the album. If they would have chose a better first single, like More Than a Woman, like I always say, she probably would have topped Alicia Keys that week. But what we going to do about it now, right? So anyway, I had to let that out, let that be known. Put some respect on Aaliyah's name, because some people, I've seen a lot of people, I read the comments of those videos. The Jaguar Wright one, when she was talking about it, and people were just like, going back and forth. And people come with the, Beyonce wouldn't be where she at if Aaliyah was still here. Here come the Beyonce fans defending her, trying to downplay Aaliyah. But it's like, the proof is in the pudding. You can't downplay what was already successful. You can't downplay the facts. And one of the facts is that Aaliyah's career was getting bigger and better, taking off. And like I said, even if she wasn't selling $1 million in a week, or her movies wasn't getting $300 million in the box office during this run, her career was getting bigger and better, and she was going to have her moments of shining, like, that song did really good, that movie did really good, that product she was selling did really good, her clothing line did really good. Like, that's the type of thing Aaliyah was on. It wasn't just about, getting the #1 spot, winning that Grammy. Aaliyah was she was a far ahead, she was a bigger thinker than that. That's materialistic things. Every artist wants success, but Aaliyah's mind, people don't get it. Aaliyah's mind was focused on being a mogul, really, a businesswoman, successful in all aspects of the industry. She said it many times, but some people obviously didn't catch it. But I'm telling you now, I'm just reminding y'all, some of y'all get it, but some people just don't. Anyways, guys, that was just my take on the whole Jaguar Wright video she did about Aaliyah, speaking about Aaliyah, and that's just my 2 cents on it. What do y'all think about it? Do y'all agree with Jaguar Wright and what she was saying about Aaliyah? Do y'all believe that story she told about, somebody called her about Dame Dash being sick in Miami, she had to rush to his bedside? Do y'all believe the thing about, do y'all understand, what do y'all think she was saying when she said a lot of people would be out of jobs today if Aaliyah was still here? Let me know down below in the comments. This should be a really interesting discussion. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.